defining the North Star metric is the next big step in your journey. Once you have realized and bought into that with analytics, you can learn way faster than any competition, or if you could just compare yourself with yourself, then the next question is, so where do I want to go? What's the direction? And there is a reason why we use the North Star as the primary icon for this topic. Yeah, you realized maybe here or during the other meetups that we have 6 topics that we essentially align all what we talk about around. And defining your North Star, the clear one metric that you want to pursue, that is so important. The book that helped me most to realize this, how important this was, is this one, Lean Analytics. It gives you for all kinds of business model like e-commerce, app, B2B, the KPIs you should be hunting the most. So if you're interested in that, I can really recommend Lean Analytics. If I could get one speaker, maybe besides Russell Brunson, that I could get here, it would be Benjamin Jaskowitz. Do you see this? Just come and join us on the next meetup. So, but how do we decide? Yeah, and at the end of this segment, I want you all to tell me, what do you think? What is your North Star metric? So let's start thinking about what it could be and what questions we can ask in order to get you there. So the most important question I already introduced. What is the biggest constraint to your growth at the moment? It could be team members, yeah? But usually we talk about the product user flow. What is the biggest constraint in the user flow? Do I lack enough traffic or qualified traffic? Do I not have enough leads or people who actually install so I can test the product deeper? Do people not stick around? Can I get them easily, but they just leave every month? Can I not get them to refer me, or do I make not enough money with the people I have? And when I base this circle, this product sprint, growth sprint idea, I always focus on one of those 5 areas. And I use analytics like this tower that watches over the whole country and where I can see where are people stuck. And that is the biggest constraint to your growth. So that is the first question you can ask yourself. Other questions that greatly help me in defining my North Star metrics are what's the driver of value for your customers? What is what is the action that your customers have to take in order to perceive value out of your product? If you have a B2B business and you offer a service, when is the first time that your customer actually sees results? It's usually a long time in. But what could you give them beforehand that they already feel that they made some headway? If you have a sports nutrition product, what is the first time they perceive value? When they bought the stuff or when they took it for a certain period of time for the first time? And if you put all your effort into that focal point where your customers produce value, that is almost guaranteeing you that you're building a product your customers will love. Another thing, this is more the money and data-driven guy in me, is what will lower my cost per acquisition? You already got a good business running, but you would love to, increase the sales, but you can't afford it. What you can do is you can find ways to lower your cost per acquisition. And the cost per acquisition means, like, for example, how much do I spend for a lead? How much do I spend for a customer that buys for the first time? And on the other hand, it's just as valuable to increase the customer lifetime value. How can I do a cross-sell, an upsell? What else can I give them that they will perceive more value and will reward me with money? And then at the end of the day, what will actually lead to more profit? But it's always based on those 2 questions. Yeah, profit is only customer lifetime value minus all acquisition and product delivery costs. Yeah, and if you can improve those variables, then you can make more profits. So think about it. What is your personal North Star metric? If we could take some of your examples maybe and talk about and discuss a little bit to make it more interactive on what this could be. Is anybody here who has a business who sells a B2C product? Here, what are you guys selling?
Beer tours in Cologne.
Beer?
Beer tours.
Beer tours, nice one. So what do you got? What do you think? What's your North Star metric?
My problem is we get a lot of people on the website. I think as many conversions as I think I could get.
What's your traffic source?
TripAdvisor, Google Ads, Facebook Ads.
Okay. What's the percentage of traffic that is paid, roughly? Is it just 10% or is it 80%?
It's more like 20%.
20%. Okay, got it. And the conversions, do they come a lot from the paid or more from the TripAdvisor stuff?
More organic.
Okay, interesting. So how many beer tours do you book per week?
It's very seasonal.
Yeah, in the season.
So maybe get a lot of bookings.
What's a lot?
Like on a Saturday afternoon this May, I had 10 tours running at the same time, plus 25 requests I had to refuse because I didn't have any guides available.
Yeah.
But that's really hard to do.
Okay, so what did we hear here? We heard bookings per week or per day. Yeah, I would think probably in weeks. Then used capacity of tours, of tour guides. That could be an interesting one. To always have a certain capacity level filled. Do you have to pay your tour guides when they are not working? Good, that's a good thing. So we don't have to optimize for this. So your limitation would be getting the guides and then getting enough people to match it to one guide, right?
That was all private group bookings.
Yeah.
There was one guide per group. But that was a rare problem. I only had that problem once.
Yeah.
Usually it's more that there's not enough bookings
to the guides. So getting bookings is harder than getting more guides. I mean, like being a beer tour guide must be a dream job for any student, right? I would focus on bookings per week or month. Is week or month the better metric for you? A week. So when the next hot season comes up, so right now it's a bit off season, probably. So when does it start? April or?
It starts again while the Christmas markets are on.
Oh, right. So for the Christmas market, I would set a clear North Star metric of bookings per week. And that is your North Star metric. How can you book on your website?
You can book directly either public tours or private tours.
Online?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you use as payment providers? Or like?
I work through the Harbor, which is an online booking portal.
Okay, cool. So focusing, what can you pay per booking? What is the maximum cost per acquisition you want to afford? And how much does a tour cost on average? Bring you in revenue, sorry, that perspective.
So a single guest on a private public tour per yours would be the maximum.
Yeah, cost per acquisition.
For private group bookings, it would be up to 20 euros.
Okay, and for the single public person, what does he bring in revenue?
Depending on the group size, 15 to 18.
15 to 18. So you're willing to spend about 20% of the revenue, the gross revenue, on cost per acquisition. Yeah, that is reasonable. I very often see companies who say like, yeah, I need my cost per acquisition to be 5 to 10%. Yeah, maybe if you are Rewe online, that's your problem. Or if you're Amazon and you're in an absolute commoditized business and you have lots of strong competitors. But if you're in any reasonable, distinguished service or product business, you should be able to invest about 20% of your net revenue, and with gross you even have a bit more to spare. So the Northstar metric that I would set is book an average of, let's say, 10 tours per week. You could increase it, that did not cost more than 20% of acquisition, or where they had a return of advertising spend of 5. Because if I could show you campaigns that consistently produce that for you, put in €1, get 5 back, you would play that game a lot more. You would be aggressively hiring guides in all kinds of cities, right? So that's what I would focus on like a laser. Should we take another example? Anybody else who would like to? There's a question. Oh yeah, I need to repeat the questions because the microphone does not work for you. But for the next one, yes, okay. I will do that live stream. Thank you for reminding me. Anybody else who would like to get a Northstar metric example done? One more. Who has a B2B business? You?
Yeah, we do a B2B. And we have quite large customer acquisition cost, about €2,000.
What are you selling?
We are working with publishers, and we are doing voice skills for Alexa.
Voice skills for Alexa. Okay.
It's like automatic conversion of their text.
Yeah. So what's the average ticket size your customer pay?
Can I say that?
Is it like more like €10,000 or more like €50,000?
We calculated lifetime value. It's about €50,000.
So and you are pissed about the €2,000 cost per acquisition. That's what I mean. Like I would be spending 2Ks like a motherfucker all day, all night. Yeah, if I could get 60 back. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry to say that it's just that. Yeah. So what would you think? What would be your Northstar metric? Are you looking for more sales qualified leads or something like that? Do we have a landing page where can people register, or how do people come to you?
Some problems,
yeah.
Because 2,000 is okay, but
yeah.
We have only 3 clients now because in German market, German B2B market,
yeah.
It's really slow.
Yeah, German B2B market is crazy slow. It's like 3 to 6 months from hello, we have a service for you to a written contract, and then 9 months till you get the money in your pockets. Yeah, or even longer depending on what you have.
Like about here, so we spend money for customers, but they are not agreeing for easy testing or some other stuff.
So in your,
I would say that's my Northstar.
What speed? What speed? How would you quantify it? Speed of acquisition. Signing of contracts. So signing of contracts is the problem with doing that in B2B. Of course, that is the long-term goal, but it takes too long to realize it. Your metrics, you cannot do a campaign and expect to actually understand what happened. Yeah. So I would go one step before and say, like, we want marketing qualified leads, and go for speed on marketing qualified leads. What I would expect, what you have, talk to Hubertus about it. He knows a lot about that business here in Germany on getting B2B customers for developer tasks, right? More than anybody I know. So, and you want to get marketing qualified leads, and you have to find out what they are worth, and set a goal like, okay, I want 100 marketing qualified leads. Like the example I said with you in mind, like how many people go to a landing page, convert to a downloadable. And in your case, I would go for book a demo. You need to get demo calls with people, video calls, and put a sticker price on that. And then go fast on that and try to set a hard limit on the cost per acquisition. But if you're below that, keep on driving more power through that. That's often what I see in B2B businesses, the unwillingness to spend more when there's obviously a profitable channel already running. Yeah. But with 3 customers already, it's hard to judge what your real cost per acquisition is, right? Because mostly in that size, people come from the network. But thank you very much for sharing those examples.